Guests report hearing children laughing in empty hallways. Pianos play by themselves, and doors unlock in the middle of the night. One man stayed here, and it inspired the most terrifying horror story ever written. This is the real haunting behind the Stanley House. High in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado stands a grand, isolated building. Beautiful by day, terrifying by night. This is the Stanley House, also known as the Stanley Hotel, and many believe it is not empty. From a distance, it looks like a peaceful resort, a postcard from another era. But as you get closer, you start to feel it. The weight of its history, the chill in the mountain air. People come from all over the world, not just for the views, but for the encounters. They come searching for something beyond our understanding, hoping to witness the unexplained phenomena that have made this hotel a legend. For over a century, the Stanley has been a place of luxury, but also a place of lingering shadows and whispers that refuse to fade. The Stanley was built in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, an inventor and wealthy businessman. The hotel was designed as a luxury retreat, elegant, quiet, remote. Stanley, famous for the Stanley steamer automobile, built this palace as a haven from the tuberculosis that plagued him, believing the clean mountain air would heal him. For a time, it was a paradise for the rich and famous, a place of grand balls, exquisite dining, and serene relaxation. But tragedy would soon follow. Accidents, illness, and unexplained deaths began to surround the building. Workers suffered strange misfortunes during its construction. Guests checked in, but some stories say their health mysteriously declined. An undercurrent of darkness began to flow through its pristine corridors, and many say the spirits of those who suffered within its walls never left. In 1911, a violent explosion ripped through the hotel. A housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, was badly injured when a gas lantern exploded in what is now room 217. She survived, but many believe the blast marked the hotel, opening a doorway to something else. After that night, strange activity increased. Footsteps echoed through empty corridors when no one was there. Lights turned on and off by themselves, baffling staff and guests. And in certain rooms, people felt an unnerving presence, as if they were being watched. The explosion wasn't just a historical event. It became a catalyst, an anchor point for the paranormal energy that would define the Stanley for generations to come. Many believe Elizabeth Wilson herself is still there, a helpful spirit who tidies rooms and sometimes packs and unpacks guests' luggage. One of the most disturbing claims comes from the 4th floor, particularly room 418. Guests report hearing children running, laughing, and playing late at night. The sounds are vivid, filled with innocent joy. But when they open the door to ask the children to quiet down, the hallway is completely empty. The laughter stops, only to start again once the door is closed. Inside the room, furniture is said to move on its own. Beds shake violently in the middle of the night, and strange, childlike shadows are seen darting across the walls out of the corner of the eye. Some paranormal investigators believe these are the spirits of children who once stayed at the hotel, forever playing in its halls. Others think it might be something else entirely, something mimicking the sound of children to lure the unsuspecting. Another hot spot for paranormal activity is the music room. Visitors and staff alike say the grand piano plays on its own. The keys move without being touched, playing haunting melodies that drift through the hotel. Some report hearing soft, beautiful music, only for it to stop suddenly the moment someone enters the room. It's as if the ghostly performer is shy. Many believe the spirit of F.O. Stanley's wife, Flora, a skilled pianist, still enjoys her beloved instrument. Others think it could be F.O. Stanley himself. His full-bodied apparition has been seen countless times, watching over the hotel he built. Dressed in his finest formal wear, forever the proud host of his grand establishment, walking these halls long after his death. In 1974, a young author named Stephen King and his wife Tabitha stayed at the Stanley. It was late in the season, and they were the only guests in the entire hotel. They checked into room 217, the very room where the gas lantern had exploded decades earlier. He wandered the empty hallways, sat in the silent dining room, and felt the immense isolation of the place. That night, he had a terrifying nightmare about his young son being chased through the hotel's corridors by a possessed fire hose. He woke up with a start. The entire story of a haunted hotel trying to destroy a family laid out in his mind. That dream became The Shining. King later said the Stanley felt alive, that it had a character all its own, an energy that was both captivating and deeply unsettling. Today, the Stanley Hotel is one of the most investigated paranormal locations in America. Ghost hunters and curious guests flock here, armed with cameras and recorders, hoping to capture proof of the afterlife. The reports are astonishingly consistent. Guests report doors unlocking and opening on their own. They feel sudden, inexplicable cold spots in warm rooms. Disembodied voices are captured on audio recordings, whispering names or warnings. Some claim to feel unseen hands gently tucking them into bed at night, while others report a much more malevolent feeling, a sense that something is watching them from the dark corners of the room. Many guests become so unnerved that they leave early, unable to last the night. Few who stay there ever forget the experience. So, is it all real? Or is it just our imagination running wild? Skeptics argue it's a classic case of suggestion. The hotel's fame, fueled by The Shining, creates an atmosphere of fear. People arrive expecting to see a ghost, so every creak of the floorboards and flicker of a light becomes paranormal. But believers point to one compelling thing: consistency. The same rooms, the same sounds, the same experiences reported by different people from different walks of life for over a century, long before the book was ever written. Room 418 and the children. Room 217 and the housekeeper. The music in the concert hall. Is the Stanley truly haunted? Or does it simply haunt the mind of everyone who walks its halls? The Stanley House remains a place where history and horror collide. A beautiful, majestic hotel that inspired one of the most terrifying nightmares in literary history. A building that never truly sleeps, its corridors filled with the echoes of the past. Some guests check out in the morning, their bags packed, ready to go home. Others, it seems, never really leave. If you love true haunted places, real paranormal cases, and the stories behind famous horrors, subscribe to Nightmare Case Files, because some stories are more terrifying than fiction.